But we're
Of
gonna
course.
we're gonna pretty much get into it. Preference versus superficial. That's the topic we're talking about.
In
Everybody,
all aspects or in certain situations.
well, like I pretty much sent you the script, so those are the questions we're going to be asking. It may be a
Okay.
little bit of both. Who knows?
Because I think there'll be lots of references to a couple of Tiger Woods out here, but we're gonna leave that alone for later. So all I'm gonna say.
Here we go.
I'm just saying, let a bitch hit me with a golf cart and send me
Yo,
to jail and take
can
my
we stop with
kids.
the
I
cussing?
He
oh,
can't.
I can't cuss. I'll try to censor
Nah, you
that.
can, but you be adding extra flavors that you
Let
don't
a let
need.
a female
Bro, it
assault
was
me.
like every other word just now.
Let a female assault me. Take my kids. Take half my wealth. Like, and then I get jail time. I ain't never talking to a bitch of that caliber again.
He can't
I
help.
said it. Yeah, I did.
He, he
That's
can't.
fine. I can't. I'm just saying,
He
like,
can't help himself, man.
not in this topic. Tiger Woods been pissing me off for a decade.
All right, but that's not the topic. That's
It,
what
it
you.
low key is. We
That,
talking about superficial and preference. I think I know why Tiger. No, I think I know why there's a certain forest Tiger like to go into. If
this
that
guy.
makes sense, you know. He a Bengal tiger in Bengali, India, just going to certain fucking homes and eating certain kids and shit. It's fine.
All right, man.
Let's get this going.
We ain't talking about Tiger Woods though. Like, leave that man alone. But okay.
He needs to leave himself alone.
All right. Yo,
Let's do this. Let's do this.
this
Come
nigga
on now.
DJ is hilarious, bro.
Yo, it's you.
Okay, my first question to the topic:
Mm.
Are is it well, is there a problem with having standards?
What?
We're having what?
You sound far, sorry.
I said, is it a problem with having standards? Do y'all feel it's a problem with having it?
No.
No.
As long as they're realistic.
I mean, realism or realistic standards. If if something's real to me because I live it and I experienced it, and someone doesn't live it and doesn't experience it, then it depends on who's looking at it. You know.
Yeah.
All right, so
But I'm
then,
just saying sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask them then, what do you can what would you consider realistic then?
Like
Like what's
for
real for me? What's my experiences that I would be like, this is what I want to see in my relationship because this is what I've experienced. This is what's feasible as per the life I've lived. So what I consider real might not be real for everybody else. Like if it's me, shit,
But
should I?
you don't feel
Yeah.
like there's even depending on your life or like your life situations and the things that you've been through and went through, you don't feel like it's anything that no matter what your situation is, may be still unrealistic though to have.
I mean, they don't. I don't think I could think of no matter what life I live is. Can the bitch fly off out of the plane? If she can't, then I think that's realistic. But like certain things, like in the let's say emotional, the physical, and the spiritual levels, there's certain things and certain people. Like if I'm agnostic and this person is like heavy in the faith, the person is gonna look for certain things in a partner that I
Yeah.
probably can't provide because it's not feasible for me because just for those who don't know, if I'm agnostic, I'm saying that I'm not saying there isn't a God, but I haven't seen enough evidence for me to be like I'm doing that.
Yeah.
So if
Gotcha.
I believe that and that's reality for me, and let's say I'm cool, this person's having the faith, but I overlook that and I'm cool with her. There's no guarantee that vice versa she could be able to do the same thing for me. Like you know what, I love the faith so much, it's everything for me. It keeps me going, and then this person just doesn't. Yeah, I like him on this level, but can how far can we go if he doesn't see it the way I see it? You know?
Okay. 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 I get what you're saying. I'm just saying like I feel like it's still regardless of your reality, it's still certain things that is totally unrealistic to have
but
regardless of
that's
your
what I'm
reality.
saying. What I was saying with having standards, there's nothing wrong with
What's up, Beast?
as long as you're not sitting every man has to have a jet or a helicopter or a dinosaur, and it's like, but what if I don't want that though? Like,
Yeah, because there's a lot of things in relationships nowadays that people make standards that shouldn't even be a standard in a relationship, but so many other things affect relationships. And something like what you're saying about their religion and their background, a lot of times it seems like that plays little role in the relationship, which it should be a bigger factor.
Well,
I
here's an
agree.
example. I don't know how far we can go into this, but back in 2016, a certain individual got the title of president.
Yeah,
When I first heard this, I wasn't sure how to believe it, but those niggas divorcing each other because one voted for one person and the other voted for the other. Like they were saying, "Wow, this is what you did. I just can't be with you ever again."
and I feel
Split up the house,
that's
split up
unrealistic
the
to me.
kids. I mean, I hear that. Personally, I would just kept my mouth shut
See, but that's
or
something.
not just voted. But I'm just saying that was a huge deal. Like
That's what I'm
families
saying. That
broken
you
up
have
over
a
this
lot of
shit.
relationships with things like that, which I feel is very
Should be discussed.
unrealistic. It really don't need to
I
be
don't think that's not
discussed. Like
unrealistic. I'll tell you why though, but later.
what? I mean, okay, we won't go into why I feel like that's
You know
unrealistic, but
why.
but I feel like it is very unrealistic. It makes I mean a vote just because he voted for this person and she voted for this one. Like we ain't together no more. Like
But I think that the issue with that is a lot of people like that marriage or those marriages. I think they were built on superficial things, and people didn't look
that's
deep into who this person actually is, and they thought they knew them, or they thought, okay, I know him enough to where whatever he is, I can overlook maybe what I consider the darker sides of it because certain things are met, certain boxes are checked off. And I think when they realize, like, shit, I really can't. Yeah, he might have this, he might have that. We might have access to this kind of stuff. We might be in this bracket of wealth, but damn, this person just isn't a quality dude. What the fuck am I doing?
and that's what you know what I'm gonna change it from preference to standard. That's what also I'm trying to get at. Where does that a standard and then superficial where do that line meet? Like for example, do you believe money can be a standard in a relationship?
To a certain degree.
Well, I'll say this. We probably might have all heard this in our lives. Yes, you need love, but if you just have love and nothing else, that won't be able to keep you afloat.
Yeah,
Like I personally feel like I agreeing with BJ is saying basically. Like I if I wouldn't want to date somebody who's just like nothing to their name, like flat out broke because then they kind of rely on you like your dad or something. You know what I'm saying? And that adds a lot of stress on yourself. Like if y'all
yeah,
can both come to the table as two people who
I'll ask
work,
something else after that too, though. But go ahead.
yes, two people who work and you can rely on each other to a certain degree. That's why I feel like well for me, it's kind of like a standard. You know what I'm
okay,
saying?
okay. So it's let me say it like this. It's
I
standard at
Sure.
like just a minimum basis level where not saying that you have to have a specific amount of money, but you need to be doing something.
Yeah, like I just personally feel like it saves a lot and it helps a lot when you can both come to each other and like, hey, I need help
Yeah,
financially. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah. I get you.
It adds. I just feel like a deeper aspect to it. It's not just like, oh, hey, I'm making all this money and you aren't doing anything
Yeah, I
like at
get what you're
all.
saying. I get what you're
Can I ask
saying.
you a question?
Hmm.
I heard this and I kind of thought about it. It makes sense. What if you're doing this, but you guys have this, I guess, agreement or just relationship agreement? I'll bring in the funds, but in terms of the homestead, you hold that down while I'm not here to hold that down because I'm out in the world making our paper. Does that, it's not the same way as bringing home a check, whatever, but it has some value, a lot of
Mhm.
value, especially if you want your kids to be well taken care of and all that, and your house not be falling apart. Does that at least equal out?
Yeah, I feel like yeah, because to a certain degree, it's like you have. This is something once again that must be discussed.
Because here's why I say this. I used to think, whatever, because let's be real, that way of thinking that was done maybe like two generations before we were born.
Hmm.
But if you think about it, and someone did, I forgot who it was. I wish I could shout out the person accurately. If you do the breakdown of like the actual cost of, let's say nowadays you got both people in the workforce,
Yeah.
the kids run the street, sadly. But let's say the kids don't run the street. You put them. I'm just saying, you put them in facilities at certain levels to do what would usually be done by one of the people like one of the parents who would be home, and you add that up in cost, and it's almost on par with like you're saving this much because shorty or husband, there's some chicks out there like
Yeah.
that stay at home dude is raising the kids, making sure the house is good, and you're not paying this, that, and the third for it. So it's like I would say come to an agreement, but
Hmm.
it won't always look the same way because there's value to everything, especially if you break down what a motherfucker will charge to do it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think Consuela not gonna charge you nothing because Ecuador is a plane ride away, but she out here need that 1,000 a month.
See, but that's the thing. If it's discussed, then that's fine.
But
But
And
my
that
thing is, oh, my
go
bad.
ahead, go ahead.
no,
Continue.
go ahead.
My thing is though, what is the hard part that I could feel about this because this can get very convoluted for the sense of at what point do you go in about discussing this, especially if this is something that you want, because you can make a standard of shorty or a dude being a stay at home mom or dad or stay at home husband or wife or whatever the case may be. At what point is this discussed or brought up? Because we come into relationships with certain standards and we say this, that, and the third we're gonna do, but that may not be feasible as somebody that you just met and you started talking to, and then this is
I
your
feel
goal.
like whatever's. I feel like this, right? There's standards that can be brought out through whatever part of the relationship.
Okay.
But if you're just starting off, first of all, you need to get to know and understand a person
You ain't
Yeah.
talking
before,
about marriage and that shit yet.
Yeah.
yeah, you before
Yeah.
y'all even talk about deep stuff. But there's a certain level of standards that should be held at that phase of the relationship. Once again, it's like I said, you have to tell a person your intentions.
Yeah.
I'm not saying because it shouldn't be. Marriage should not be the first thing on that list. Like, hey, I'm looking to get like
I mean, it could be the first thing internally, but in the world we live in, let's
It
not
should,
say that out
yeah,
loud
yeah.
because you're gonna
It
be
should,
that crazy
it
motherfucker.
should
Just
be an
like,
end goal.
yeah,
It should be
but that's
part
what I'm
of
saying.
the end game. But I
That's
get
unless you
what
not
you're
trying
saying.
to be Charlie Sheen
Yeah,
and look at him, he got the HI. You know
that's
what's up.
not first date coffee
yeah,
conversation.
yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Don't okay. You have your internal monologue that the whole world don't gotta hear. Like if you see this chick, let's be real. Let's not lie. The second we see someone, there's already a certain like
Yeah.
shallow level analysis of that person done in your head.
Of course, that's human nature. But then, okay, with all that being said, that's why I brought those things up. So when does money? So is money truly then a standard in a
Well, this
relationship,
is how I would
or
do
is
it.
it a later standard in a relationship,
Well, this is how I would do it.
or is it
I would just clear.
superficial?
Uh, I think at some point it will be because like this. So personally, how I would do it is once you like decide, okay, I'm about to give this chick a ring, which has two different values. If you're very religious, then you know the covenant before God that this person's your
Yeah,
rib and all that, your
yeah,
right
yeah.
hand. And then there's the real life application where this is a combining of assets and you're pretty much going into the highest level of a business
Okay.
merger in existence right now in this society, unless you live in a certain country where we don't want to mention it, but some fucked up shit go down. So if you in
Yeah.
the states and you get married, and especially if you're not in a state like California, you get married like Chicago or something, you
Okay,
better have done your
Kanye.
betting
Yeah.
because you done if you fuck up.
Yeah. Nah, I get you. I get
So
that.
that's the one point. So like I say you start going down those roads after a year where you're like, I can see myself, and then you start gauging, like,
Okay.
this is what I would look for. Would you agree? Are there things you think we could compromise on? Because I've had these conversations with her, with my girl, since like probably
Yeah.
the first year we've been together.
Yeah.
But how I would do it afterwards is before I get married, I'm gonna talk to her. So
So
what are we doing? We doing condo or we doing house? Because house has this kind of cost, condo has this kind of cost. If we're doing condo, then this is what we can do. This kind of budget to work with. Is that fine? No problem. If we're doing house, that budget goes up a little bit. Yeah, it does mean we got some equity, we do some sales and all that. But then what neighborhood do we want kids? If we want kids, we got to think about school area and all that shit. So I think as you start deciding what you guys like, first, I would say ask these questions. You know what you're dealing with. You're not getting any kind of sticker shock. And then if you know this person wants a house, is open to marrying you, is open to kids, these are what these things will cost. You chat it out, and then you go from there.
all
It
right.
doesn't have to be done right away, but there's certain questions you can ask that once you get an answer, you know what you're expecting for the future.
So pretty much money is that standard.
It depends what
Uh,
kind of life y'all want.
yeah. Money is like money. What y'all saying is money is like you at least have to have the
It's
basic
important for
amount.
living.
Yeah, it's important to living. You at least have to be doing the basic amount to start off, and then from there you can decide on how y'all go financial. That's how y'all feel.
Like you ain't gotta like,
Yeah.
oh, if we get married, we're gonna be opening this business and we got all the funds running. Like, shit. Hey, when we
So
get
what
married,
about
after we had a, hmm?
what about if you meet somebody and
Hmm,
they aren't bringing in any income?
then you gotta look like this. Like, does it work for like for what you're bringing in and what she's not bringing in? Can y'all still have the life that you guys talked about having?
Yeah, I'm
And
just
then
saying hypothetically for
no, yeah,
y'all
hypothetically, like, you
is
just gotta look at it. Like, is it feasible? These things that we say that we want when we had our we conversations, can we still rock with what we say here? Does she know what we're doing and are we on the same page of where we're trying to get to?
okay.
Like
So so
if
it's
we
it's not
making
really
okay,
it's not really
oh yeah,
that like it's not really so money plays
for
it's kind
me,
of tricky. Money it seems like it's kind of tricky for as when it starts to become like okay, this is standard, this is what we're doing, and
well,
then
like
this is a
this,
superficial.
you have people who automatically want this threshold to be met, like
Yeah.
let's say 100K or 200K or whatever, and that's just what they're looking for. Because like let's be real, we see in society all the time, like especially like this, like was I didn't really watch it because I didn't really care to. There was no nudity inside of it, but there was like some documentary about baby sugar babies.
Yeah.
And it's like a whole bunch of these high school girls who, due to like the crazy ass cost of going to college and the crazy ass debt that most women come out of college with, the spread of the sugar baby wave went through colleges across the country like crazy. Got these old ass wrinkly fucks who need at least three blue chews for 5 minutes of, oh, okay, that was nice, but they paying your whole tuition, which
Yeah.
I don't get me wrong. From a certain perspective, it's like ill, but from another one where like if you're, let's say you're someone's financial advisor, and like, damn, you tell me you got your degree and there's zero debt. That's kind of tough to just overlook. Like it's nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, I
It's like
get
I
you.
don't want to say this out loud. I'm just human, but I would like to think I have the strength. If some old ass nigga came up to me, said I got two. Listen. I'm just being honest, and I'm praying that the Lord gives me the stillness of heart.
My guy is wild, bro.
Listen.
He said,
I am
I
praying.
need my debt paid though."
I'm praying that the Lord. Did y'all see Tiger King? Did you know how many niggas he tore through because they was broke?
Yo, yeah, that's wild, bro.
So let me say my
but
story though.
nah,
I hope that
I get
listen, no,
you.
let me finish it because it's important. All right. I hope and I pray the Lord gives me the stillness of heart and the vision to turn down that 2 billion with no strings attached and my secret take it to the grave. Damn.
Listen,
I ain't saying I'm doing it, but that's 2 billion.
all all,
Okay,
I,
that's 2 fucking billion.
I ain't even mad at you playing.
Because I've seen.
All I
Go
know
ahead.
is
Go ahead.
when I when I talk to you and you say, "Man, I ain't got to worry about nothing. I already know what where the conversation going, and you ain't got to finish." Like I
Like
already,
you, like we're this world has built up
yeah,
people. So,
Sure.
wow, shut up. This world has built up people. Like why there's so much crime in the hood,
yeah,
especially when niggas ain't got the money for the guns and all this stuff. These niggas are choosing because of the society that we live in, to where these chicks are choosing stripping, porn, and sugar babying, and niggas is choosing scamming, where they're looking at almost life in a federal prison because ever since 9/11, it's a federal crime to steal someone's identity. They're looking at these things that'll ruin them for the rest of their lives
yeah,
because that paper chase has like just been put so high in value.
yeah. We
And
was
let's be
just
real,
literally talking about this.
yeah, you can't eat if you ain't got $5 in your pocket. Your kids
Okay,
are gonna go hungry. It's a tough it's a tough fucking life. It's a tough fucking situation. But I can see why niggas go down some roads. It's I wish they didn't.
yeah.
If I could help, I definitely will. But I can see it.
And with
The
all that,
society is shit.
or with all that being said, like that's why I personally, because I kind of really skated around just to see what they would say. I personally
Hmm.
feel like money is a standard long as you can provide the same thing. You can't or
That
long as you can or will try to provide the same thing, unless you have some type of predisclosed notion and stuff like that. I feel like it is kind of superficial if you ain't really got it and you want a person just to come in and swoop you off your feet and take away all kinds of pains and L's that you lived through or whatnot. If
I
you haven't tried, like, because I do agree that we do have this world that that we live in that makes the bar so high that bills are ridiculous that
I mean,
you
like
want some
niggas aren't getting
relief.
paid what they should. If you look at like if you follow
Exactly.
things, things are ain't right. But I'll say this too. I this is just I don't know why. This is just the way I saw it. I felt like ever since I was a kid, if I like take care of my family, do everything in my power, like you see all the time, like especially if you're Caribbean, you seen your uncles or your, like they so you got uncles that can't even walk right
Yeah.
because they just been like, I gotta take care of my kids, not sending them to school and that shit. Like I think do what you can, take
Yeah.
care of your family. Like some women are gonna want certain things. Like I can't give you a Land Rover, whatever the hell the shit
Yeah.
damn car is called, but I can give you a Honda Pilot. If you cool with that, if you cool with a Honda Pilot, you know where to find
Got
me.
that Honda Pilot money. I feel you. Flex
Listen,
on them.
I can give you
Flex
the
on
Honda
them.
Pilot. If you need that
Flex
Land
on them.
Rover, baby, I'm sorry. You
Nah,
as fine as wine, but we can't work because I can't give you that.
like I said, to kind of like clarify more. Like I said, if you broke by choice, and broke by choice is if you deciding, and this go for men and women, if you broke by choice, like you're just deciding not to do anything,
Or you're making money and you're gambling all the way.
or yeah, or whatever amount that equals to, with his Kingdom Hearts money. But if you doing that, if
Kingdom
you do,
Hearts money.
yeah, because you didn't say money, you said money.
This nigga.
But if, with wherever you in, if you choosing to just not have any cash or not work or just not do anything, if you're not even trying to, start something up or something, I feel like that's superficial to want somebody that can come in your life and do, and just give you this Land Rover, and you're
What?
choosing not to do
But
nothing.
they exist though.
They
Because like I
definitely
said,
do exist.
there's a whole bunch of wrinkly ass motherfuckers
Yeah.
who damn
see,
sure
'cause
put
it's
that
like
sick, like
Wait,
they'll
let
take you
Michael
to
go
that
because
IHOP
he ain't
and
speak for a
get you that
minute.
early bird special. And as
yeah, I
long as you can
feel like
rock with the smell and the
shut
early bird.
up.
Alright, whatever, nigga, go ahead.
I feel like it's like I said, if that's what's discussed, then cool. If like you guys talk it out and it's
Yeah.
like, oh, I want to do this, you know, so that means I can't work, and it's like,
I got something else after you, but go ahead.
Now
you know, but
we're gonna move into another question.
Nah, we're not.
Yeah.
I will also say this though:
See this guy, man.
if we working at something and you just keep spending, but you know that we trying to go here, like dude could gamble the money away, and you just spend the money away at Etsy.com or whatever females can go shopping. Let's be smart with our bread. We're a unit now. Move as a unit. All right, go ahead. I'm done.
So since we're talking about money, do you think a body type is when does your body type as a preference or whatever the case may be start to become a little superficial and then a standard?
I don't think it'll probably ever change because attraction at its basis form is I can see myself on top or on bottom of that right there.
Yeah,
it's all preference. I feel like it's
I don't think a body can really change. Like,
well,
as long as I ain't burnt,
it's always going to be a preference kind of thing.
and it's a give and does it give and take too?
Wait, I'll say this: as long as
when does it become a standard? Like, okay,
this
is my preference.
It's a reasonable preference.
Then or this is superficial. Like yo,
like for an example, right?
Vern Troyer was getting bitches, and he was 3 feet tall.
Yeah, of course. There's always going to be.
But he had the bread to make that work.
There's always
height is it's like as far as looks and attraction, when cut. But I guess when it's like when you start putting down what's not your preference, that's when the line must be cut.
I think some things you can put down and some things you can't. Though.
Same kind of thought process. But
yes, there are things that you shouldn't put down anybody because you don't like that. First of all, that's just number one.
Wait, put down as in say no to or just insult?
No,
put down as in
talk down on. Talk bad about
short niggas is this.
Yeah.
Dark niggas is this. It's like now.
Okay.
Now
I mean, people gonna talk.
Yeah, of course, but that's
people gonna talk.
That's true, but like I said, it's if I approach you as a man to a woman, and I'm like, you're like, oh, get the fuck out of here, you little ugly short nigga, like all of that, because you don't like short guys. You get what I'm saying?
I will say this though, to add to it. You see these videos of how some of these. Like, I'm just saying, this like I'm playing devil's advocate this time before this nigga Cuddy does it. Y'all heard about that story recently about a chick in Philly? Dude was talking to her at the corner store. She said no. You know what he did?
What?
Shot that bitch in the back 4 times.
That's crazy. What?
I'll say this. Sadly, it's like perspective. Sadly, I could be talking to a chick normally and just saying hi, but I'm number 99 and I came as a normal human being, and 98 to 1 came as a bunch of wild niggas.
Yeah.
And I can only assume that, she's probably not a bad person. And it's not easy to do it because we're all human. Someone comes at us a certain way, we have the reaction of coming back. But like I can only assume that the best situation in that situation is, damn, she must be having a bad day. I ain't saying nothing crazy, so I just let it go. Lots of people, the hell you doing the camera?
Put myself at the table.
Lots of dumb nigga, man. Lots of people, you never really know what someone's coming with. Like that's why they tell dudes you need to just forget how many no's you get because you just need one yes because you don't know what kind of reaction chicks gonna have, and it probably won't even be you.
Yeah. But,
so go ahead.
But like I still say like basically I'm on the same like route far as with Michael. Like it's nothing wrong with having a preference, like I
body type and all that
type of body type or I like this type of body type. When you are just unaccepting of other things though, I feel like that's when it becomes a superficial thing. Like,
can I ask something though?
I like what. Let me just finish, and I'm gonna let you.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I like this type of body. Like I like a fat ass, or I like a skinny chick, or whatever the case may be. And it's like, oh, but this right here, all that other stuff. If she don't got none of this, that's trash. Like she's garbage. Like if you start thinking on that, like I just can't deal with anybody else. They have to be that. Like that, I start feeling like, okay, that's a little superficial to just want to be with this person just because of they have this quality and they don't have this quality as far as body type and things going. But what's the question you got? All right then. Yeah, you gotta be messing up. Look, you gotta be messing up, bro.
Did you hear that Darth Vader noise?
I don't know what's going on over there.
All right,
bro. That nigga got took, bro. That sound like. Yo, can't even hear you through the phone, bro.
Oh, I couldn't hear shit. What was I saying?
You got wait, hold up. You got the mic by your Mac?
No, I'm on a computer.
Yo, fix the mic, bro.
Oh, I'm gonna go downstairs and put this shit in because I live in a building and niggas will touch your clothes, and I ain't trying to swing in no 5-year-olds today. So
go ahead.
Give me 5 minutes. Y'all talk it up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to.
We're gonna go into the We're gonna go into the next one.
All right. What was I gonna say?
Right
like I think you also got to remember that you're gonna have your superficial and shallow people, and I think when it comes to that, you just gotta think to yourself: is there enough from like just from my senses coming from this person to where these top level things are enough to deal with and not get too annoying? Because let's be real, lots of people pick this certain person, and then when it's time to really start being real and investing in life and moving forward, some might still do it. But some niggas are like, you know what, I have my fun. I'm done bullshitting.
Yeah.
You got like some people in their bullshit stage. You just gotta watch out for that.
Your preference can make you miss out on a great person.
Yeah.
Especially let them miss. Fuck them. They missed out.
Especially when it's something like body type, like I just like a fat ass, like, and the reason you going for this specific body type or shape or whatever the case may be, man or women, could be, why you ain't with somebody or you haven't had the most successful relationship because you're only looking at one part of it, and this person may be these kind of people may be an asshole that you're going for.
People be like, "Oh, I want Tom, Jason, Momoa, Idris Elba fusion." It's like,
and then a lot of times, just to bring in like a different perspective on things, I feel like a lot of times, all the preferences and standards that we try to have, when they mesh together, they make an unrealistic person. Like I feel like you can't, like you can have certain standards that you feel as with a person in a relationship or whatever the case may be, but when you start mixing them and start, putting them all together and shit like that, it's just this person becomes alien. Like
he gotta be making $1 billion a month, but also not working. But also a low key person that no one knows. Like, what?
Like I feel like a lot of times those mixes and stuff like that, play into. They become detrimental to us in our relationships, especially like that's why I asked about the money and body type, because money and body type together a lot of times they clash. Like you want the 6'5" dude making $100K a day, and then on top of that, personality, he got to also be a thug. Like a lot of times it's like, yo, you're going to get a specific kind of person with these kind of standards and preferences, and if you ain't ready to live and deal with that life or with that kind of person may be bringing along, or you're not equipped yourself, you're gonna be real unhappy for a while, and it ain't gonna work. Or this person only exists in this kind of level and this kind of stratosphere, and do you fit into that stratosphere? Because, like, all right, you may want the 6'5" person that makes 100K a day or whatever the case, but this kind of person is a, oh my fault, I just hit the mic. This kind of person is a ball player. Like, do you fit into that lifestyle that he looking for? Because I'm pretty sure he ain't looking for just or she ain't looking for just a regular old um dude or girl that work in Target or some crazy shit. It's no
Mm-hmm.
offense to that and doing that. But it's just sometimes our standards we don't meet the standards that we trying to set for other people. So I think we have to be careful on what lines that we put down and what lines that we draw, because we may have a standard that only people in this kind of level with that kind of standard want to deal with those kind of people. Do you fit that standard? And I think that's a good question, a good thing to base yourself around. Do you fit the standard that you are trying to put on somebody else? Because if you don't fit the standard, then maybe you need to reevaluate those standards, because they may be a little superficial. Because I believe in, like, the standard I want in a woman, and that I should be able to kind of somewhat fulfill it myself.
Yeah, those are the standards that you can.
Yeah, like, and like when it comes to body type, of course you can't really fit the same standard unless that's what or whatever you're into or whatever the case may be. But that you are able the standard of person that you want, you're able to fit that specific person's standard for what they want. Like if you as a dude want a shorty that's 5'5", uh big breasts, fat ass, all those different things, long weave, face on fleek, or whatever the case may be. If that's what you want, okay. And if you're not accepting any less, then okay. But make sure that when you deal with these kind of women, you are what they want. Don't be upset when you're not what they want, because that kind of woman comes with her specific kind of standards and preferences.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't be, for anybody that know basketball, don't be G League playing in the NBA. Like, you got to be NBA ready when you get there. Like, if she want this, if you want this kind of woman, you better be damn sure you her kind of man. So I feel like that's when we start cutting the line, especially for for superficial standards, but when it comes to like body and things like that. Like, I feel like you have to be able to kind of fulfill the wants of that person, or what the hell,
That was me. Sorry.
or the standard of that person. Because if you can't, then you are I think it's kind of a little superficial in a sense. Well, what about you, bro? What you feel?
Yeah, I honestly feel the same. What was that? Oh, I honestly feel the same. Like, if you want a certain level of things, that's what I said. What I said for me, it's comfortable to be able to rely on someone that you're dealing with for anything,
Yeah,
like emotional support, financial support, anything. Like, they're there, But that's when it becomes, oh, that's what it is for me because that's how I am as a person.
yeah,
I personally feel the same way. Like, you can't sit here and say, oh, I want someone that's driving a private jet, works on a private island, also making billions, and he's not a playboy. And it's like, I don't even think you have a private jet.
yeah,
Like, what, and then you're mad at who you deal with and the other people you deal with because they don't meet your standards.
yeah,
But it's like, are your standards ridiculous? Because there's a lot of men that don't meet the standard for women, and they don't really ask for much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And vice versa. But if you have these unrealistic standards, maybe you should bring them down some or change them because you want a man who has a dinosaur. That's just not realistic.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, maybe you should look at who you're looking at to try to fulfill your standards.
Yeah. Oh
Because
wait, hold on, real quick. Just let me know when BJ come back.
you muted me.
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I muted
okay.
BJ.
But like I said, you not trying to be rude or anything, but you're looking at Daquan and you want him to be Derek.
Yeah.
It's you in the, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't even have to give an example, but you get what I mean. Like, you have to also look at who you're looking at to meet these standards.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I feel exactly I feel exactly what you're saying. Let me ask this though. Do you feel like legal age can be you know why I don't say legal age, but do you feel like legal age can be a standard? Like, is it standard or superficial? Like for a guy that wants to date somebody that is they're 40 and wants to date somebody that's 25, or vice versa.
That's like a real, it's, I don't know, like, a lot of older guys don't like dealing with women their age. But that's something that's basing a whole group of people off of one experience.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like that is superficial because not everybody's the same.
Yeah.
But you may have it depends on why that's your preference, I feel.
Okay. Okay.
Like, if you're like,
I can deal with
oh,
that.
because older women are this, that, and the third, it's like not everybody's the same.
Yeah.
But if you're just like, I prefer younger women, then it's like, okay, maybe that's just what he's attracted to, you know?
I feel like I start to feel like me personally, and it may be ignorant. I don't know to say. I'm not going to deny it, but I start feeling like when the age gap starts to get large, like I don't have a specific number, but when you start getting into like the larger age gaps, I start feeling like it's more of a superficial thing because
Yeah.
you're usually doing it like for other reasons, like like when they're closer in age, like okay, I like a guy that's older than me, maybe like a couple years older than me, or I like a guy that's a couple years younger than me, or vice versa. I like a woman that's a couple years older than me, a couple years younger than me. When it starts being those like smaller, smaller age differences, then I don't feel like it's really too superficial. It's more of a preference, and I can't really say a standard, but more of like a preference kind of thing. But I feel like that's one thing. But when you start getting into like I'm a 40-year-old guy and I like 25-year-old women, I think it's more of a superficial thing because of you really like them because of their body or whatever the case may be. That's what I start to.
I get that. I could understand that one. Yeah. But it's also like, so you don't feel like that just can't be a preference?
It really depends on the preference because like
the reason behind it.
It really depends on that. If you can, I'll say this, like I said, this is why I said I'm a little ignorant to it. I haven't heard a reason why somebody likes somebody that much older than them,
mm-hmm.
for a reason that be like, okay, I can understand that. Like I can get that. And it's not really a superficial thing because like a girl will say, I like dating older guys because they're more mature. But that's not necessarily the case. Just because dude 40 don't mean he's more mature. It's just older. Like,
yeah.
And I feel like, and
Jesus,
then
that scared me.
a lot of times those kind of women don't date younger dudes at all. They won't even look at them, and vice
Yeah,
versa with guys. I haven't really found a guy that said I'm 40 and I like dating 25-year-old girls because of a good reason. I can't even think of one outside. Usually the reason is because that their bodies, or they don't give me so much hassle, they have more energy, they have more time, things of those natures. I feel like those could be very superficial things.
yeah, I get that. Because
And
that does make it like that's not even like
yeah,
standards at that point.
those are usually reasons why these people date older, or date younger. Like, it's usually very superficial. I haven't heard a good reason. If you could give me one, or somebody gave me one, then I'll be like, okay, I can see where there's a line. I feel like age becomes very superficial very quickly because of just the time difference.
That's the one of them fine ice ones,
Yeah,
like
like
that thin line.
no, not it's not a thin line. I feel like the line is kind of like blatant. The thin line ones, I feel personally, are money in what was the other one I said?
Looks.
Yeah, money and looks. And I really think the
Preference.
thin line is money. I think looks can. I think the line isn't so thick, but it ain't thin either. And I feel like age is really a thick line. Like, it's not a thin line whatsoever. Yeah, like, I feel like a lot of times, just with age, it's just real thick line. Like, it's usually superficial,
Yeah,
far
it's
as
never realistic.
far as age. It really ain't. Oh, is BJ back yet?
No,
Okay.
I don't think so. No.
Yeah, I really.
So we just gotta move on without him.
Yeah, that's uh, uh you know that's we're gonna definitely do that. We kind of touched on it a little bit, and with the money situation, but okay, when do you say, like, far as like, do you feel like, is it okay for to be with somebody that seem more or less has a dream, like, they more or less have a dream, but they may not be financially stable or stable in other areas, but they have a dream, or if they have the money and stuff like that, but they have other issues in their, like, emotional psyche that they're working towards. When do you say, like, is it a preference far as not wanting to deal with that, or or you're fine with dealing with that, or is it, when does it start to become superficial, where it's like, okay, I can't date somebody that isn't standard, or stuff like that, doesn't have, like, financially set, or aren't going through their separate issues that they're learning to deal with and cope with, like maybe coming from jail or something like that.
See, like it depends. Like if you don't want to date someone that doesn't have something going for themselves, no matter what the level is, maybe that's just because you don't want to deal with someone that's just not doing anything. That's
Yeah.
just going through the motions of life. I kind of like agree with that. Like I can't be with someone who
Okay.
doesn't see themselves somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I'm with someone who has dreams and goals and wants to do things. I feel like if you're going to deal with someone like that, you definitely have to support them. But is in I can't. No one can tell you how big your dream should be.
Yeah.
But when you get 65 and you keep talking about I'm gonna be the first man on Saturn or something, and I refuse to do anything until I do that, we have a problem.
Okay. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? And I just use that age for an example, but it's like, and then it also becomes a problem if you aren't trying to do anything to get to your goal,
Okay.
but you want to, like, oh, I don't want to work here. I can't have a job because my goal is to do this. You get what I'm saying? Like in a relationship, that's a problem
Yeah.
because you got to be. You don't have to be doing anything. There's no rules to anything like that. But welcome back, BJ. But if you aren't trying to work towards that goal,
Yeah.
then there's an issue here.
What goal?
But if it's that,
No, I just had asked a question. We went through just in case you want to put your thoughts out there, give you a moment to get it together and let Michael finish. We went through about age. Do you think age is like legal age is it superficial or
Legal age of consent?
no? We're not really talking about consent. We're talking about legal age as far as like dating someone, like being with somebody their age. When do you feel like um the age difference starts to become superficial? Do you feel like age at all is superficial, or can it, is it more of a preference or a standard that
Well,
you can have kind of thing? Like I said, we're gonna let Michael finish. You think on that, we're gonna come back to you.
all right.
but yeah, like that's all I was saying. Like I personally feel like you have to be, and it depends on the person you're with. If you're with someone who's told you or explained they want to be with someone with dreams and aspirations and want to do something, and they want you to be doing something. If you're with that type of person and you aren't going towards your dream or your goal or helping in any way, shape, or form,
Yeah,
then y'all shouldn't be together.
yeah,
But like I said, I feel like with dreams and things like that, you got to be working towards them.
yeah,
You got to be doing something towards your dream, even if it's you want to become a veterinarian, so you take stray cats. That's just a random example,
yeah,
and
yeah,
you take care of them. That can get. I can see how that can help your dream. Like, but don't be like, oh, I want to do this, that, and the third, but you're sitting on the couch not doing anything, drinking 40s.
yeah. All right. All right. So we're gonna take a step back because BG wasn't here for the age part. Do you think dating somebody, only being with somebody because and having this age, like I gotta be with a girl that's younger than me, or I gotta be with a guy that's older than me, or vice versa. Do you think that's can be a preference as a standard, or is it more or less a superficial thing?
I think it depends on the person. Because, like, for me, I probably wouldn't date someone 10, 15, 20 years older than me. But I could probably see myself with someone 5 years older than me, depending on the person.
Yeah,
But then again, I've also seen, like, actual couples where I didn't know the dude was that much older. Like,
yeah,
chick was in her late 20s, and the dude she was with was 50. He looked like he was at most 39.
Hmm.
So, like, and the only reason I knew his age is because I worked at the airport with new document checks.
oh, okay,
When I
yeah,
saw how old he was, like, Jesus Christ, bro, you're 50. And this chick had no issues. She was smiling, hugging up, like, yeah, he 50 and he mine. Like, okay.
yeah,
And then you have someone like one of the Olsen twins. She married a dude in his 60s. Now, she don't need his money. She got her own money. But when she decided, I want to get married, this is the nigga she got married to.
yeah.
Could it be because she was a child star since she was young and her brain is fucked? Maybe. Or maybe that sick bitch just like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
So I think,
You gotta take it down a notch, bro.
all right, whatever. So I think there's a group of people who like certain things. Like there's 30-year-olds who don't want kids, and that lack of just not taking a chance on having kids has made them attracted to 70-year-olds. And I mean legit attracted. I mean cameras not on and niggas is just grabbing wrinkles left and right. It's I watch documentaries. I
yeah.
educate
We
myself.
can.
Shut up.
we
Like
know you do. Relax.
these people, it's like if you want something and your brain knows you want it and your brain's on board, you'll do some things, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ashley Olsen in her 20s, six dude 60. This chick, he just got dreads and he 50, but he don't look it. She's like, yeah, that's my 50-year-old, and I'm happy.
Like I
It is what it
like
is.
I
But there's also the clear ones where the Hugh Hefner girls. We all know what they was about.
yeah.
I want to say the other word, but I'm gonna say girls because they all keep complaining. Hugh Hefner wasn't slinging no, slinging no nothing.
Yeah.
Hugh Hefner was slinging green. That's all I'm
Yeah.
gonna say on that.
Yeah.
So I
And
think it's possible, but the person has to have game. They have to get your attention, and then hold your attention long enough for their personality to imprint on you, for you to be like, I could do this.
yeah, like I personally said when it was just me and Michael talking, that I feel like, I feel like, don't get me wrong, yeah, you can if you vibe out with somebody and they older than you, or by whatever amount of years, that's one
Hmm.
thing, because that's more of a like a consensual type of relationship, like chemistry based and stuff like that. But I feel like once you start getting into a certain amount of numbers, like in age, like once you start hitting like the 10,
What's your limit?
15, like I would say around, once you get to about, my limit is usually, would be like five, like like you said, no more than like five. But once you start getting into like those higher numbers, I feel like it starts to become more of a superficial thing, because I haven't heard anybody that gave me a good reason, or I've heard somebody having a good reason of being with somebody that may be 20 years younger than them or 20 years older than them, besides something that sounds very superficial. I haven't heard it.
I want to know why the Olsen twin did it because I still don't understand. Of all
Like
the
I
people you
said,
could have married,
a lot of times
she ain't broke.
it's usually some type of superficial, or it could be some type of weirdness, or whatever the case may be. But we're not going to get into that. Those kind of
Because she
things.
ain't broke.
But a lot of times it is like I said, I haven't heard anybody say it for any other reason besides being very superficial. Like I haven't.
Okay.
And then one of the last things that we were just talking about, where the I asked, is it, we kind of touched on it a little bit on before, but is it a problem, being with somebody, that has a dream or whatnot, or do you feel like, if somebody says I can't be with somebody that has a dream, but they have to be financially set up, is that superficial, or is that something that's like, okay, that's they just their preference, or they stay on it?
Well, I'm not at the highest level in terms of tax bracket.
Yeah,
So for me, I would probably look at it superficial. But if I was a dude that was there, I don't know, I guess in his eyes, that like that's right up my alley. I'm there already, so that works.
yeah,
But then again, I think it also comes down like what we mentioned before, perspective.
yeah.
Like I might perceive it as superficial. But
That one can be very,
yeah, but then
very
again, it's
perspective
like
based.
if I do, that's me perceiving it as that is gonna turn into a red flag to where okay, I'm dodging a bullet with this person.
Yeah,
Because let's be real, we've seen, especially with people being stuck home with each other, there's like just because superficial goes together doesn't mean it ends well. I don't know if y'all heard about this story. I hate having to keep saying this, but I gotta be the one to bring the stories. There's a Brazilian chick living in Sweden or the UK who just killed her she was in her 30s, just killed her 77-year-old husband, who is rich, very rich, which is why she probably married him. They were married for about 3 years. This whole year they were spending time together. In November, she bludgeoned him with a blunt object until dead. Now she's going to jail for the rest of her life. She chose what she wanted. She wanted money, she wanted bread. She chose the dude. He bought her things. He bought her a gym. She was a former boxer. Before that, she was Olympian, like the regular Olympian shit. So she got everything that she chose, and it still ended with now she's going to jail. This dude's dead, and yada. So
yeah,
just getting what you asked for doesn't mean you're gonna have just everything
yeah,
you want.
yeah,
Because human beings are just messed up creatures that will always have a hole in their hearts that can hardly ever be filled. I think just choose someone that you can see yourself growing old with. If, let's say, God forbid, and I've asked myself this question: God forbid this person can't ever walk or see again. Am I willing to clean them, feed them? Can I do that for the rest of my life? And if you could come back and say yes and genuinely not be lying to yourself, then you got a good match. But you got to look for certain things. Don't just look for money, because there's lots of stories of that shit ending badly.
Yeah, yeah.
And don't just look for certain things like maybe society tells you this is what you got to have, and then you go for it.
Yeah.
And then that bitch hit you for golf club, and you end up going to jail and having to apologize to all of America for the shit you did in your life or what.
So yeah, I can.
It's a deep kind of Pandora's box that there's no answer to it.
Yeah,
you gotta know what you want.
Like I said, and this is gonna go into like the next and like final little tiny segment, pretty much. That like I said, is I feel like personally, because we as people, especially when we see other people relationships or have conversations and stuff like that, we tend to we're always judgmental about this person's superficial and this that and the third, and I feel like it is no clear line between this being your preference or being superficial, regardless of what we think. A lot of good points that BJ brought up, which I will agree on, that everything is based on perspective, and what you're going through and what you have experienced judges your perspectives and then judges your preferences. That goes down to even the stuff we eat. If we're exposed to certain things as children, then when we get older, this is not a problem. I feel like everything in life is like that, but I do feel like, even with that being said, that there are fine lines of what's ridiculous and which is clearly superficial and what is not. That yes, preference and superficial itself, and being a person that take things for face value itself, can get very tricky depending on your perspective. But there are some things that is like, okay, this is clearly just a total superficial thing. This is not preference or whatnot. There's this quote unquote what you call your preference is the reason why you're in whatever situations and stuff that you're in. Like, that's how I personally feel with that.
I agree. I can see that.
Yeah, it's just some people can handle it, some people can't.
Yeah, like
some people are willing to just eat all the shit they can and be like, I'm gonna eat this plate of shit now, but the rest of my life I'm good. So
yeah, like like it's certain things that especially when it comes to, you hear especially men and dudes, they decide, men and women, they decide to deal with a female, a crazy ass female because
that they shouldn't because of a certain look,
or deal with an abusive man that one day might God forbid
kill him over some money,
over some money, like it's,
or married to a family that you shouldn't be marrying into, but.
Yeah. Or even like he got money, and yes, he may have a wife, but I'm gonna be his second wife. But they don't believe in polygamy. Like, this ain't polygamous thing, or vice versa. As far as
so that means one wife gotta go.
And that's though there's certain things that I clearly say this is not preference. This is clearly superficial. And like one of the main things too that I know I've said, I know Michael have said, that you have to, because you kind of missed this part that we said. Really?
The fuck was that?
Sorry.
That you gotta
you fighting someone?
Somebody yelled from his window.
Yeah, like
that. One of the things that we said is, I feel like with a lot of things, if you cannot do the same or provide the same or fulfill that other person's preference, then you have no right in a sense. Like, if you want a woman, like we said this while you're going, if you want a woman that's 5'5", wear weave, and has fat ass, has big tits, or whatever the case may be, if that's what you want, you better be damn sure then you fulfill and meet
you ready for all the baggage that shit come with.
Yeah, the baggage that it may come with, or you fit the criteria of person that they want. Like, don't be upset when this kind of
Well,
woman don't want
issue
your
there.
kind of person.
If you don't, let's say you personally like, I don't want a certain person. I want a certain lifestyle. You'll make yourself fit to get that lifestyle.
Some people
You see that?
don't.
Then that becomes
But here's the thing: if you a damn good liar, I don't know if y'all saw the movie Gone Girl.
No.
This chick lied her way to try to find a perfect man, and then she decided, now I'm gonna get him sent to jail for life. And then
official.
Yeah, that's probably a bad thing too. That was a movie. But I'm just saying there are lots of people who.
No, I'm saying that if you have to lie and manipulate and do certain things to meet a standard, that means that's superficial.
Okay, that's superficial, but let's say that lie is a damn strong lie, and you get 20 successful years of that lie, and I just can't see it because you just out here Dr. Jacqueline and Mr. Hyden for
Then
20 years.
Shit.
Listen, you better be careful because lots of niggas think I know my person, and then
you're a piece of shit.
They're a piece of shit, but you got hooked in.
On the outside,
you stuck. You got kids.
On the
married.
outside looking in, you're a piece of shit. Once we find out about it, for you personally, if you're the person that's lying and stuff like that, oh, you won because right now they just
you just stuck. You got kids with you. They got a house. They got this.
They don't know.
And if they learn and run, they're screwed.
Then that's like it's still wrong though. Like
it is.
I mean, it could be wrong, but what court is gonna be like? Well, y'all been together 20 years. I'm just gonna give you everything now. But I'm just saying, okay, so let's say we find out, the whole world finds out this person's evil, but you're married to them. You have all this stuff together. How are you now gonna separate yourself to be free of them forever? That's at 20 years.
But that was never the topic, though. Is what I'm saying.
I mean, if we talk about being superficial, and I wasn't superficial from my perspective, this person low key was by changing who they were to fit what I like and what I'm looking for. So I know I'm not part of the topic, but
yeah,
I'm just stuck, and that's it. Don't talk about me. I'm just gonna take my goofy laugh to hell when I shoot myself in the head or something.
If you're talking as the person that got manipulated, then that's a fucked up situation.
Yeah.
But if you're the person that's doing the manipulation and changing who you are just to go fuck this person over, you're a piece of shit.
Well, not really to fuck the person over, but to get what you want. Like this, in your eyes, this person and what they can give you is what you want, but you're not 100% compatible. But now I'm gonna lie. I'm gonna lie to myself and make myself to be something that I'm not to be compatible.
Like I said, on the outside looking in, you're a piece of shit, and that is very superficial. As the person that is doing it, until you get caught, you won. Like that's how you looking at it.
That's your.
All right, we done beating this. We done beating this baby. Let's move on to the next thing.
What term is that?
He's using an example from one of the celebrities, and it's like it's wrong no matter what. But we know what society we live in, so it doesn't really matter.
Sodom and Gomorrah all around us.
But
I probably should say that. I'm not the most religious person.
But that's pretty much going to be it. That's pretty much our thought process on this. A nice little clean one. I like it. We're definitely going to try to do this more. I know I say it all the time, but we're definitely going to try. We're going to definitely do.
Did you just admit to being a capper on stream?
Yes, I'll be capping.
Oh, okay.
Full cap. Put the baseball
straight
cap.
Capping.
Nah, I'll cap. I wear my graduation cap.
He cap with no brim.
I'll definitely be capping, but we're going to try. Definitely. I thank my coach for coming through on this one. As y'all always do. I don't know if anybody will be streaming later today or not.
I might do Resident Evil. If not, I'm just gonna go to sleep.
Okay, we got Perking BJ on Twitch. Just look the name up. He'll be doing Resident Evil today. Once I upload this on YouTube, it's gonna be probably way past the time for that. So y'all could just ignore that part. But you could definitely follow him on Twitch. I don't know if your boy 592 on Twitch. He I don't know if he's going live today, but you definitely will follow him too. Because he'll definitely
want to do some rec or something. No,
yeah.
Sure.
he'll definitely stream today. Of course, if you're watching on YouTube, it's not the live day or whatnot, but you can definitely still follow him. And also, you can follow me on Cuddy Johnson. Link will be in the description below. This is specifically for the YouTube. And make sure you like and subscribe to the video, to the channel. Follow on Twitch. Follow all of us on Twitch. We always bring in content, always bring the heat. But we're gonna get up out of here. I appreciate everybody for coming through, and we out.
Peace.
Yeah, deuces.